Welcome to this week's Java with Jason, your weekly real estate and mortgage update. This week's topic is a big one. It's the buzz of the real estate industry right now is, my house didn't appraise, now what? So the fact of the matter is that this is one of the hottest markets that the Houston area has ever seen. Very, very limited supply of inventory. People are just not putting on their houses on the market like they used to, and we have a flood of relocation coming in. On top of that, you have the COVID effect. People are realizing they don't like their house. And to go through a virtual world that we're going into, they want a different house. So there's just not enough inventory. So what's causing to happen in our industry is house prices are going up very rapidly, and so some of these houses are not appraising. So what do you do when it happens? All right, so there are 4 options when your house doesn't appraise of what can happen, all right? Number 1, the seller could reduce the price. So let's say it's a $500,000 house. The house appraises for $490,000. The loan is always based off the lower of the two, your loan is. So you could go back to the seller and say, hey, house didn't appraise, lower the sales price to the appraised value. Now in this market, very unlikely that might happen, all right? So what's the other options? Number 2, you could choose to pay the difference, all right? So the way the loans work, if you were doing a 10% down loan on this $500,000 house, it appraised for $490,000. So now your loan's based off the $490,000. You put 10% down off that, so now your down payment's $49,000. And then you come up with the difference to keep a 10% down loan, all right? So you bring $59,000 to closing. The third option is you can pay the difference by raising your loan amount. So instead of doing a 10% down loan, you would do a 5% down loan. That can also help bridge the gap if you qualify. Right now, we're running qualifications on people. If they're doing 20% down, we also run a 10% down option as well, too, in case we have to adjust their loan and then bridge the gap with a higher loan amount, all right? The fourth option is you could always split the difference with the seller. If you're off by 10 grand, you could pay 5 grand difference, and the seller could also pay another 5 grand, all right? Which leads us to our fifth and final is all these contracts in Texas do have an appraisal contingency, so you could cancel the contract if the house doesn't appraise and you don't qualify. But I'll tell you, most of the offers we see right now either are usually doing some sort of appraisal contingency. It's either a full appraisal contingency waiver or it's a partial, where they're at least waiving the appraisal contingency down to the list price. So if you have any questions on this, a lot of my clients are super surprised when the house doesn't appraise, and we can remaneuver the loan and figure it out. So if you have questions on the loan, paying the differences, raising your loan amounts, or splitting the difference, give us a call, 281-882-8888.